Halo guys, selamat datang di Acedia ya kan, kuli jawir kita yang suka bermain TFT. Sekarang aku pengen videonya Mordok yang membahas set 13 yang akan rilis. Kalau dari jam sekarang itu 3 jam dari sekarang lah. Ya kan, jam 3
PBE-nya.
Selasa, Selasa tanggal 12. Dan di sini aku bersama Ardian ya kan, finalis Nusop set 10 dan Stuck Grandmaster, dan juga ada Bebek sebagai tim Hure yang Stuck Master. Oke, langsung saja.
Hey everybody, Riot Mort here, and it is time to talk about teamfight tactics into the arcane and do our PBE rundown. I'm so excited to share the hard work from our team, from our set lead Sean, Julian, Ryan, Milo, Winston, Tori, Peter, and so many other people that contributed to this set. This is a big deal. Into the Arcane, our 13th set, and it's going to be a banger. There's a lot to be excited about in this set, a lot to talk about, and I can't wait to share it all with you here. So hopefully by now.
So ini ya katanya Mordok ya, set ini tuh set yang paling lama masaknya ya kan. Dan dia optimis kalau set ini tuh bakalan lebih bagus dari 2 set sebelumnya guys. Dan hampir imbang lah dengan set yang 10 yang musiknya, produksi musiknya bagus itu. Jadi kita lihat saja ya nanti gimana rilisnya. Oke, langsung saja kita bakalan bahas di Champion Cost 1 guys, biar nggak kelamaan.
And our damage dealers are Darius, Draven, Lux, Maddie, Morgana, Powder, Vex, Violet, and Zyra. And hopefully the first thing you notice here is Steb, Maddie, Powder, Violet. We have a bunch of non-League of Legends champions that are from the Arcane show that our team worked really hard to create and put into TFT. So that's really cool to see. And you're going to see there's a bunch of these units. So really proud of the team for that, which is really cool to see. From there, I'm going to try to do a quick rundown on what you can expect here. Amumu is a tank with no mana, just procs a lot of... he has that normal flat DR that's really good. If you can get him early with like a Gargoyle Warmogs, he's probably the best one-cost tank. Doesn't scale as well as everybody else, but a really good opening tank if you can get him going. Aurelia is a reprint. She's got that whirlwind that protects her, does some damage, and then strikes back. So good tank. Singed is a pretty cool tank where he gives himself durability, like 50% DR for a few seconds. But the cool thing is he then throws back a buff that will buff somebody in the backline and give them a huge burst of attack speed for a few seconds.
Lah, di sini guys ya, Sing itu tank yang unik, baru pertama kali ada di set 13 ini, dimana dia itu tank tapi ngebuff. Biasanya kan tank dia bikin tambah keras kan, ngasih shield atau gimana, ngasih durability sama ngasih damage dikit-dikit. Lah ini bagusnya dia Singed ini kalau nyekel kan dapat durability sama ngebuff attack speed. Dan dari videonya Frodan dan videonya Sub-Zero Arc itu yang di buff Singed itu unit yang paling strong, jadi yang ada itemnya kayak gitu. Jadi kayak harusnya bagus nih buat opener yang ada Guinsoo dan kawan-kawannya.
So it's not often you see a tank that can support the backline, but Singed can do that really well. Steb is your typical bruiser frontline. He heals himself for a bit. One of the twists with Steb, though, is that every time he heals, he also heals nearby allies. So there's actually some setups you can do using things like Redemption that allow him to heal quite a bit. If you want to get a hits, heals, bites, no big deal. Good stuff there. And then we have our damage dealers. Darius is going to do a spin with his axe, apply a little bit of a bleed. Pretty cool. Draven's going to be throwing those axes. That's what Draven does. Catches the axes. He's a Ginsu's user, Deathblade, stuff like that. Lux, this is going to be similar to Set 9 Orianna, where she's going to throw out a small shield, and then her next auto will hit really hard and chunk for like 700 magic damage. Not baseline, but with items and stuff.
Ini shieldnya Luck ini cuma ke 1 unit enggak?
Ya, iya, 1 unit.
1 unit doang. Yang paling darahnya paling dikit. Enggak kayak di set yang 55 kan, yang semua unit.
So Lux is pretty slow at killing, but decent in the open.
Kayak Orianna.
Orianna is that sort of one-cost sniper paradigm that has a higher mana cost. But when she reaches her spell, instead of firing one big shot, she fires like 6 small shots that all add up to a lot. But if you get the kill early, it'll like splash to a new target. The shots can miss though. She is a 1 cost, so beware of that. But definitely does some good damage, and you get like an early Shojin IE, put that on her, she can be pretty good. Morgana is a dot champion, 40 mana, applies a dot on people. With an early visionary opener, we'll talk about visionary later.
Sebagai penyepong Morgana, set ini 5 cost, terus set depan jadi set 1 itu kayak gimana guys ya? Hype-nya nggak ada.
You can apply dots pretty well. Really loves casting items. The base damage
Tapi
on her
skinnya
spell is really
bagus,
high,
skinnya bagus sih.
so make sure that you get her casting quite a bit. Then we have Powder. Powder is definitely a champion worth talking about here. We don't usually print 1 cost like Powder, but Powder is a high mana cost that can be reduced by family. And then the spell is a very large explosion. If you're somebody who doesn't like your backline getting destroyed, don't group them up and don't let the monkey walk to your backline, because it goes boom. And she does a lot of damage. So definitely one of the biggest impact spell 1 costs we've ever printed.
Nah, ya benar. Banyakan ya guys ya, kalau set sebelumnya itu harga 1 unit harga 1 itu skillnya nggak banyak gimmick. Biasanya kalau skillnya yang banyak gimmick, AW-nya luas, ada banyak dotnya, kayak gitu tuh, ada stunnya AW kayak gitu tuh biasanya cost 3 ke atas. Ini benar kata Mordok, dia baru pertama kali bikin unit cost 1 tapi spellnya ada impactnya.
Definitely counterplay around that and stuff like that, but watch out for Powder. She can be explosive. Vex is a pretty standard 60 mana, shoots her spell, has some bonus AoE, so pretty solid spell. Violet, another exclusive champion here, frontliner who likes your BT Titan Sterix, does some rapid fire punch combos and can do some pretty good damage. And then Zyra is going to shoot her vine out, hit a target. It doesn't stun, or I think it stuns the first target it hits, and then it splits into 2 and hits 2 more targets for extra damage. Zyra reroll actually can pump out the damage, so if you're looking for another 1 cost reroll, you could play Zyra. Yeah, so there's a decent amount of rerolls here.
Benar, ini benar dari kata Mordok ya. Kalau dari pengalamanku, aku di sini nangkep ada beberapa reroll, ada 4 lah. Kalau ngikutin Zyra kata Mordok itu bisa di reroll. Biasanya ya yang cocok di reroll itu kayak gini guys, ada 2 unit yang sama trade-nya dan harganya sama kayak gini. Draven Darius, Tap sama Medi, Powder sama Violet. Ini kan udah 3 ya kan. Ini potensi reroll nih kalau kalian pengen reroll ke 1. Terus Trundle, ini kitnya kan sama kan, ini Trundle tuh. Olaf set 5 kayak Warwick kemarin. Ini juga potensial buat reroll biasanya. Yang suka banget di cost 1 tapi kelihatan keras di awal ya kan. Terus sama Zyra ini katanya Mordok ya, tapi belum kelihatan ini eksperimen sama Sorcerer ini trade-nya nggak terlalu bagus buat reroll. Yang Sorcerer cuma sama Luke, terus eksperimennya nggak ada. Tapi katanya Zyra reroll bagus katanya Mordok ya, nanti dilihat aja. Tapi dari sini udah kelihatan ada 3 sampai 4 yang dapat di reroll. Kita lanjut di cem harga 2.
For Leona, Rel, Set, Vander, and Vladimir. And then our damage dealers are Akali, Camille, Nocturne, Renata Glass, Tristana, Urgot, Zeri, and Ziggs. Leona, pretty basic tank, gains a shield that gives her durability, fades away, does some AoE damage, nothing crazy. Rel is an interesting one in that she's another tank. She jabs her target and actually will steal some of their armor and MR to make herself a little tankier. Not a lot or anything, but, gonna help her be pretty tanky. Definitely worth investing in if you've got a lot of visionary as well, because that'll get her casting more often. Set is a reprint. Set's that set that we saw, I believe it was in set 9, who would grab 2 people, jam them together, and stun them. So you definitely get him casting quite a bit. Vander is a really cool tank. Obviously, he's the father of the family, but the big thing here is if you remember set 10 Cassante, who had that low mana cost, he would duck like this for a bit,
Oh ya.
protect himself, and then punch really hard.
Set
Vander's
set 10.
similar spell, but the twist here is the spell gets more powerful the more 1 and 2 costs in your army. So if you want to play like a 1 and 2 cost reroll, then get to level 8 and have 8 units that are 1 and 2 cost,
Anjay.
Vander's punch will hit like a truck.
Family reroll ini udah
So
kayak
pretty cool around comp building.
pang
Family
reroll
as a
set
reroll
ini
comp,
ya.
which we'll talk
Set
about
berapa
later
di
when we
pang
get to the
reroll tuh?
traits. But really
10.
unique twist for Vander.
Kuat
here.
banget anjir. kayaknya.
Vladimir is your pretty standard. We've seen this
Kayak
before, where he's that
Kokubo
frontliner
bukan
who
kayak
casts,
itu.
deals damage, heals a bit.
Siapa
Pretty
tadi?
good tank, scales with
Kasante.
sorcerer pretty well.
Udah set 10.
Akali is a really interesting melee champion that's probably one of the harder champions to play. But with
Set kemarin Akali sulit digunain, kos 2 juga. Ini juga, Cok. Akali kos 2 sulit dimainin juga. Aduh.
Kalinya tuh kayak Akali set
she
10.
actually does is she
Tapi
hits her
bedanya-
target. It's a pretty high mana cost.
Dia loncat
Then
sampai yang
she
paling
hits
depan.
her target, dashes
Oh,
back,
yeah.
and then dashes
Paling
back
dekat dia.
towards them, hitting them really hard. But she does
Nggak
kind of
awet.
aggro drop sometimes, and so she can be really good in
Loncat
the
ke
early game.
belakangnya jauh lagi.
Scales really well with that quick striker. But yeah, pretty solid opener. In fact, really the best openers we find are like Nocturne, Akali, Camille. They're melee champions, and in the early game, their weakness isn't as pronounced. So really good openers if you can get them going. Camille is pretty cool. She's a 25 mana spell. And the way it
Berapa
works
yang
is
kena
basically
kali?
she does like a flip kick. So it's like auto, flip kick, auto, flip kick. But the flip kick, what it does is it looks at the target and it says, which do you have more of, armor or magic resist? If you have armor,
Unik
I'm going to
ini.
hit you for magic
Camille ini
damage.
unik ini.
And if you have magic resist, I'm going to hit you for physical damage. So she actually has like the first adaptive spell that we've ever seen.
Ya,
If it's a
unik nih.
tie, she'll default to physical. But pretty cool to see how it'll flip. The good news is, no matter what, it scales off AD, so your item build doesn't change. You still build her like you can go IE, Titans, BT. Blue buff's actually not bad on her, but no matter what, it'll just change the magic type to be what it needs to be, which is kind of neat. Nocturne, pretty basic. He's gonna auto attack real quick. Every few autos, he's gonna spin, gain a boost, keep doing that thing. A little bit like a Blender Nocturne Light. Yeah. Renata's spell is going to hit one target really hard, and then everything it passes through is going to get a shield. So you can do some pretty cool positioning with Renata if you want to get some shields on your team. Tristana is pretty cool. If you like the stacking champions, Tristana's spell is a big burst, kind of like Namzi, if you will. It's a big cannonball. If it kills, the extra damage will pass on to the next target. So you want the spell hitting really, really hard. In addition, every target the spell kills, she's going to gain permanent AD. So if you can get an early Tristana with like an IE, you're going to get a lot of kills. You're going to stack up a lot of AD. We've seen this get as high as like 70, 80% bonus AD. So yeah, pretty neat. And then that scales
Ini
really well
kayak
with Artillery,
Yasuo
which
set
we'll talk
10
about
nih.
later.
Ya.
Urgot is kind of like Nocturne, Camille, and Akali. Really good opener, stage 2. Is tanky. He's got a bunch of different traits you can work with here. Artillerist, Pit Fighter, Experiment. And just pumps out a lot of good auto damage. The spell's not really that insane, but it's just more damage. And so, again, if you run into like an Urgot 2 on 2/2 with 2 items, you're like, oh god, I might not be able to deal with that thing. So Urgot's pretty cool. Zeri. Zeri is our Ginsu's user for the 2 costs. Her spell is literally every 3 autos do a bigger zap, so you definitely want her autoing a lot. I find that like Ginsu's plus Quicksilver plus 1 more item is usually pretty good. And then that works really well with Sniper because the zap has infinite range. So make sure that you use that. And yeah, if you like Ginsu's, Zeri's your champion. Also works really well with Firelight, which with another champion we'll talk about later. And then Ziggs. Ziggs is a pretty standard, throws a bomb. The bomb splits into 3 little bombs. Those bombs deal damage. Because he's a Dominator, he's going to want lots of casting items. So, like, honestly, his best build is, like, Shojin Nashers. Because of Dominator, which we'll talk about later. But pretty typical AP carry there. All right. 3 costs. Blitzcrank AP carry there.
Jadi di sini ya ada beberapa potensial reroll bagi pecinta reroll. Yang jelas Vander ini kan sama siapa tadi? Powder sama Violet. Yang kelihatan lagi tuh Akali sama Nocturne. Ini kayaknya modelnya sama kayak set kemarin yang Akali sama Nilah. Kalau kalian
Inilah.
ingat guys. Ya. Terus yang Camille ini unik. Ini Camille nih kayak championnya ya itu eh ini cuy sangat 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 cocok dengan trade-nya Enforcer. Soalnya trade-nya Enforcer kan kayak ngasih ngasih apa tuh ngasih debuff ke unit yang paling keras, tapi kalau unitnya yang paling keras musuhnya itu udah dibunuh, itu bakalan dapat buff ke seluruh unit kalau nggak salah, ke seluruh unit atau unitnya Enforcers. Nah, Camille ini kitnya bagus buat ngekill tank yang tadi kena debuff itu tadi kayak gitu. Soalnya dia kan kayak modelan yang nggak peduli dia punya apa itu musuhnya punya armor keras atau magic resist keras. Dan kayaknya ini bisa di reroll sama yang enforcer sebelumnya, sama Medi sama siapa tuh tadi satunya tuh yang tank tuh. Terus ini emissary guys, thread yang harus kalian apa tuh ingat-ingat kalau pengen flag. Ini bagus soalnya yang aktifnya cuma satu unit, aktifnya cuma satu atau enggak 4. Yang kalau kalian masukin emissary double bakalan cancel efek threadnya. Kayaknya itu doang sih yang patut di apa tuh dikasih hack like. Ada lagi nggak di?
Nggak ada sih, paling Vander aja buat reroll.
Ya Vander yang buat family tadi ya,
Iya,
powder sama violet. Oke.
Itu juga Akali bisa sama Rebel kan, Bruiser tuh sama set.
Oh ya benar. Berarti Akali Nocturne set nih. Ini 3 unit reroll yang kayak gini guys. Maksudnya ada cost 2 banyak ya kan, 3 unit di roll ini potensial banget. Soalnya gampang hitnya.
Alright. 3 are your tanks. And then your damage dealers are Cassiopeia, Ezreal, Gangplank, Kog'Maw, Nami, Smeech, Twisted Fate, and Swain. Swain 2 times? You might be wondering what that's about. We'll talk about that when we get to there. Alright, Blitzcrank. Pretty standard tank. Gains a shield. That shield does some bonus damage. Because he's a Dominator, the more he casts, the bigger that shield's going to get. So if you can get him really, really tanky, Blitzcrank can do well. But you're definitely going to want at least 2 Dominator in if you're playing like an Automata Blitzcrank tank game. Loris, another pretty standard tank here. One of the enforcers from the show. Has that sort of big shield, protects himself. He tanks really, really well. Yeah. Nunu is a tank, but his spell is actually his ult, where he'll gain a bunch of durability, do that sort of big AoE, and then splash damage to anyone who's standing in that AoE. Also works really well with his experiment bonuses. So pretty cool tank there. And then if he's a visionary, so you can get him to cast a couple times a fight if you've got him really well equipped. Rennie is probably my favorite tank. I'll be playing Rennie a lot. Rennie is a 3-cost bruiser. Chem Baron's kind of a fake trait, which we'll talk about later. But what Rennie does is takes her chainsaw, lifts the person up, stunning them, doing a bunch of damage to them, and then healing from that, and then throwing them down. But she's just got generally good stats. That heal helps out a lot. So I'm a big fan of Rennie. And then Scar is another one. Scar, again, from the show. Pretty cool. Look at all these characters we're making. Scar is another champion that's really, really good. He throws out 3 little grenades that stun people. So it's kind of like Shen from the last set, where you get like 3 stuns. Works really well with Horizon Focus. But the big thing with Scar is he is very tanky because of Watcher and Firelight, which we'll talk about later. So if you get like a Scar Zeri reroll, you're going to be in a great spot. So pretty easy comp to play, and Scar will be one of those painful things that's really hard to get through. Okay, Swain. Swain is our first form swapper, and I think y'all are going to love form swappers because you talk about flex play. Form swappers are flex play in a big way. What form swappers do is if they're in the front 2 rows, they have a spell. If they're in the back 2 rows, they have a completely different spell. They may as well be a completely different champion. So in the front 2 rows, Swain has kind of a spell you'd expect from him, right? He casts, goes into bird form. He's going to be healing during that bird form and being very tanky, doing a little bonus damage as well. Put him in the back row, Now all of a sudden he's a Shojin Deathcap user who's shooting crows out and doing big damage to the target, as well as some more AoE damage with those crows. So you can play him as a backliner or a frontliner based on what you need. You know, in Conqueror, in Sorcerer, he ends up being as a frontliner. But if you're like want to play Conqueror with some AP items, you can play him as a backliner. Pretty neat. So I really enjoy that.
Nah, oke, ini di pause dulu ya. Swain ini soalnya skillnya baru guys, di set ini, mekanik baru. Nih di sini Swain ini punya satu trait yang namanya Form Sweeper, yang kalau diartiin itu dia tuh bisa pindah-pindah model. Jadi kalau dia ditaruh depan dia bisa jadi tank, tapi kalau dia ditaruh belakang bisa jadi damage dealer, bisa jadi carry. Tapi damage-nya apa ya? Jadi kalau ditaruh tank skillnya itu kayak set kemarin. Jadi dia berubah, terus dapat bonus health, ngasih damage, jadi tanky. Kalau jadi carry ditaruh belakang, dia kayak ngasih skill yang single target tapi ada sedikit AoE-nya. Tapi yang damage-nya yang utama itu dari single target, kayak ngeluarin gagak. Dia kan punya gagak nih. Nah, cara mainnya gimana? Biasanya kayak gini ya, Sorcerer itu kan biasanya trait belakang kan. Ini kalau kalian mainnya Sorcerer, si Swain ini bisa jadi tank, taruh depan aja. Tapi kalau kalian main Conquer, dan Conquer ini kan modelan banyak yang bruiser kayak kan. Soalnya unitnya itu unit kaku-kaku ya kan, kayak Noxus lah, kayak gitu, dikit-dikit mirip-mirip Noxus yang set kemarin. Nah, kalau kalian main Conquer dan gak ada backline carry, kalian jadiin Swain ini backline carry kalian gitu.
Mirip-mirip Gangplank full, cuman kalau Gangplank kan modenya aja yang beda. Kalau ini skillnya juga beda.
Oh ya, benar.
Cassiopeia, kind of a blue buff Shojin user. Again, another Dominator. Dominators you're going to find really love their blue buff Shojin Nashers. But shoots a target, every third shot is like a bigger one. Pretty cool. Ezreal has some pretty good traits here. He's going to be shooting, his auto attacks hit pretty hard. Going to be shooting that big AoE ult that he's got. Not the like the R ult, but more like the hits a target and explodes in an AoE ult. So... Gangplank in the front row is going to be your typical BT Titans Sterix user. He's got like a slash that does really good damage to a single target or some AoE if there's a bunch nearby, and then heals himself. In the back row, he's going to be applying these like explosive grenades to people, and then at full mana he's going to trigger them all, which do big AoE explosions. So in the back row, he's more like a Ginsu's IE Shojin Deathblade kind of user. So yeah. All right, Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw's another really cool champion. We made an attack speed champion here that doesn't use Ginsu's. Kog'Maw's spell is I gain 25% attack speed for the rest of combat, and every, I think it's 3 times I cast this, I also gain range. So you want Kog'Maw to actually have like Shojin plus Archangels plus another damage item like JG, and he'll actually get to 5.0 attack speed pretty quick without that, at which point if you had a Ginsu's, it really wouldn't be that good because you'd already be capped. So pretty neat to see. Big fan there. Nami is an emissary, which we'll talk about later. You're going to see Nami in a lot of comps. Nami's spell is just the wave that bounces and like hits 3 targets for damage. Nothing crazy here. Good sword. But again, her emissary bonus, which we'll talk about in the trait section, is going to make Nami a very high desired champion.
Attack speed juga sekali. Kalau aku mau set sebelah cuma
Smeech. Smeech might get the award for the second most annoying champion in the set. Smeech is going to jump to the weakest low item champion and gonna slash them for a lot of big damage. It's really good if you're playing Chem Baron and want to make sure you get a couple kills. Smeech will jump to really weak targets and kill them. That being said, he does prioritize weak targets, so he's not going to necessarily jump to their like 3 item carry. He's not that like full backline access. But again, you're like 0 item carry right next to them, they might die. So look out for Smeech. And then Twisted Fate. Twisted Fate is an AP user. Throws out, every time he casts, he throws out 3 cards. One of them heals, one of them stuns, and one of them does some AoE damage. So Quick Striker plus Shojin here. He'll be tossing cards out really well.
Oke guys, ini yang perlu di-highlight lagi ya kan ya. Kebanyakan di sini ini Cassiopeia ini megang blue buff, carry AP blue buff. Israel itu kayak yang kemarin masih itemnya harusnya sama. Si Gangplank ini pegang Guinsoo. Kalau belakang, kalau depan tadi apa di? Bruiser,
Bruiser.
Bruiser ya.
Titan BTIE paling.
Oh, BT ya. Oh ya, kayak Warrior set kemarin. Kalau Kog'Maw ini dia magic damage tapi attack speednya tinggi gitu katanya. Terus Nami
11 ya.
gimana di?
Kayak set 11, Kog'Maw set 11 tahu kan? Yang dia pakai blue buff.
Dia ngeludah dari atas, tapi setiap dia ngeludah dapat scaling attack speed. Kalau yang set 11 kemarin kan setiap dia ngeludah ranknya nambah kan? Ini setiap dia ngeludah dia tambah attack speed. Nami ini kitnya biasa, tapi yang unik ini guys ya, itu trait-nya emissary yang aku sebutin tadi. Emissary-nya Nami ini dia nambahin attack speed. Nambahin attack per mana, ya kan. Kalau ngetek kan biasanya normal dapat mana berapa ya kan, tapi gara-gara ada Nami dia tambah plus 2 mana, setengah Shojin lah.
3.
Ya, 3. Berarti setengah lebih Shojin. Ini efeknya gitu ya. Kalau yang emissary yang sebelumnya itu kan Tristana, dia itu efeknya ngasih attack speed di per bintang ya, per bintang yang kalian miliki. Dan sama yang perlu di-highlight lagi si Smash ini unit yang paling mendekati ke assassin guys. Tapi dia loncatnya ya kan, loncatnya ke belakang. Tapi katanya Mordok tadi dia loncatnya itu ke unit yang paling lemah, yang dimana lemah di TFT itu didefinisikan sebagai unit yang bintangnya dikit sama yang itemnya dikit. Jadi yang nggak ada item sama yang bintangnya kecil itu dia bakalan loncat ke situ, sama yang darahnya dikit. Nah, kalau counterplaynya gini guys, kalau kalian ketemu ada yang reroll Smith, kalau kalian punya, katakanlah kalian main reroll Cassiopeia ya kan, terus sama Nami ya kan, Naminya nggak ada item, Cassiopeianya full item. Lah si Cassiopeia sama Nami ini jangan dideketin, pisahin, soalnya si Smith ini bakalan loncat ke Nami ya kan. Lah kalau kalian Nami sama Cassiopeia ini dideketin, dia habis ngekill Nami, dia bakal mukulin Cassiopeia gitu. Counterplaynya simpel sih, tapi sering lupa nanti kalau ulang-ulang. Soalnya kalau kalian ketemu assassin itu ngeselin guys di TFT itu. Kalau di game sebelah kan Magic Chess kan masih assassinnya masih normal, ya kan. Di sini assassin tuh dibenci seluruh komunitas.
Alright.
Oke, kita menuju ke cost 4 yaitu
Now we're getting to the good stuff.
Unit
Mundo, Garen,
yang
Lawi,
aku paling
Elise
sukai.
are your tanks.
Kelompok unit yang paling
And
aku
then
sukai.
Ambessa, Corki, Echo, Heimer,
Jadi kita akan
Silco,
bahas
Twitch,
per unitnya
Vi,
ini,
Zoe,
agak detail.
and Elise are your damage dealers. So, yeah. Mundo is going to be a really big tank. Loves Warmogs. This guy loves health. His spell is he regens a bunch, gets really bulky, deals some damage to nearby enemies. Pretty just self-tanky, but scales really well with HP. And again, he's a dominator, so every time he casts, it's going to be bigger and bigger heals. If you can get him to like his third cast in a 4 dominator comp, he'll be healing a truckload. So definitely one of the best selfish tanks out there. Garen is also a tank that really likes HP, but he also likes...
Oke guys, Dr. Mundo ini tank yang sangat ini ya, yang sangat egois, yang dimana dia nggak ngasih utility, dan dia itu tank yang butuh item, beda sama yang lainnya. Soalnya dia scaling banget sama item tank, yang dimana item tank itu kan HP sama armor kayak gitu. Ini biasanya tipikal kayak ini guys, kayak siapa tuh, kayak Ani set 11. Kalau set 12 itu kayak siapa ya, Nasus
ya. Nasus
scalingnya bagus banget buat dari tank, tapi dia utility-nya dikit. Sama ini kayaknya trade-nya nggak tahu sih ya, ini eksperimen kayak gimana, tapi Dominator katanya bagus, lumayan sih. Dan Garen ini emissary guys, trade bagus, dia scaling sama HP kan ya kan, Dan emissary-nya Garen itu ngasih persenan HP berdasarkan HP-nya Garen. Jadi kalau kamu kasih Garen 3 Warmog itu kan ya unitmu yang lainnya itu bakalan dapat apa augment yang ngasih Gen and McT ya kan. Gen and McT gratis dari Garen yang 3 Warmog.
He likes armor and MR. He kind of likes both. The big thing is his HP gets shared with nearby allies because of his emissary bonus, but you do want that armor and MR to make sure he's tanky enough to go with his DR that he's getting from Watcher. So Garen's not quite as tanky as Mundo
eksperimen
as far as
Hexred.
selfish,
ya.
but can make a team a
Nggak
lot
terlalu
better.
itu, Cuk. Nggak terlalu,
Really plays well with other Watchers here.
nggak terlalu
Um,
bagus.
You know, if you want to play Scar plus him in that Firelight comp, that's a really good way to go. So, yeah. Alawi, definitely another really powerful tank here. Is going to like your Gargoyles, your Warmogs, your Redemptions, and is going to be able to slam targets, draining some health from them, staying alive for a long time. We find in our playtests, Alawi in particular, because she's a Sentinel, and 2 Sentinel is very flexible and very, powerful. Alawi and Elise get played a lot. Elise gets played a lot because she's a bruiser, and because when you put her in the front line, her spell is that typical 4-cost AoE CC spell. She's going to jump into the back line a little bit, kind of like the old Jarvan ult from set 9, and shoot a bunch of webs that's going to stun people in place. And the big thing is she actually has a heal that comes with the spell. So for the first time, it's not just the CC. She also gets to heal a little, which makes her scale pretty well with like AP. So
Cakep banget
yeah.
Elis.
Those are your tanks.
Nah, gini guys, biasanya ya tank tuh biasanya tiap set tuh ada berapa? Ada 3 dia yang tank tuh. Set
3-4 lah.
set 12 kemarin itu kan Nasus, Tamken, sama Tarik ya kan. Tarik itu tipikal tank tapi yang ngasih utility. Terus Tamken itu tipikal tank yang ngasih CC, sama Nasus yang pure tank. Nah di sini yang kayak Nasus itu Dr. Mundo sama Ilawi. Garen ini kayak Tarik, dia ngasih utility. Terus yang Elise ini kayak Tamken guys, dia ngasih stun. Ngasih stun tapi dia loncat ke belakang terus nge-CC area dia yang diloncatin, kayak Tamken, kayak si Jarvan, kayak si itu siapa yang ada jangkarnya itu yang set 11.
Oh,
Natulius itu. Kayak gitu guys. Jadi gini ya, ini kayaknya lebih satu ini tanknya.
Ambessa is a really interesting champion. I really like Ambessa. She starts out at 2 range.
Oh ya,
even though-
Rakan ini Ilawi ya kan. Rakan ini Ilawi, terus Dr. Mundo ini Nasus. Rakan kelupain ya, jomok ya anjing Rakan tuh. Enggak sih, Rakan enggak jomok, dia cinta saya. Oke, lanjut guys.
She's a melee unit. And then she's going to be attacking with her chains from a wide range, at which point she'll cast her spell where she dashes in and like hits somebody up, kind of like her ult in SR.
Sebenarnya
Then she
TFT
switches
itu
to
ini
full
guys,
melee,
gamenya itu hampir
gains a
mirip-mirip
bunch of
tiap set
attack
tuh.
speed,
Ada yang
punches a
siapa
bunch,
itu
and
penggantinya
then
mirip-mirip.
dashes away
Tanknya
and
nggak
does
bakal
another spell. So she's
tambah
moving
5,
all around.
tambah 6 itu
Works
nggak
really
bakal.
well with like Edge of Night,
Ini
BT.
Ini aku tebak ya,
IE,
ini
stuff
paling
like that.
yang warriornya,
But
yang
Ambessa
bruisernya
pumps out
itu
the damage a lot,
warriornya
dashes
yang
around,
melee carry-nya
can be
itu ada
pretty
2 di
annoying.
Kos
I don't
4
really
juga.
like Titans on her as much because she's much more damage focused, and
2
then
kalau
you
nggak
kind of want
3.
her to drop aggro. So Edge of Night seems to be a lot better on her. Corki, probably the easiest to play 4 cost, just a solid,
Ini Ambessa ya. Ambessa ini megang item melee carry tapi fokusnya melee carry yang damage guys. Soalnya trade-nya kan Quick Striker ini. Quick Striker itu kayak Fang Wizard ya kan? Sama Conqueror. Ini scaling AD semua nih. Conqueror ngasih AD AP. Quick Striker ini ngasih critical. Terus emissary ini dia scaling. Dia emissary-nya Ambessa itu kalau dia ngekill, kalau nggak salah, kalau nggak dia ngekill atau nggak menang, dia bakal ngasih armor dikali sebanyak dia ngekill atau enggak dia menang itu. BT Titan. Kalau katanya Mordok sih BT Edge of Next sama item damage 1.
Item Akali. Kalau tahu Akali reroll kayak gitu
ya.
itemnya.
Soalnya Ambessa ini nggak ada ini cuy, nggak ada apa tuh, nggak ada self defense-nya, nggak ada shield, nggak ada itunya, nggak ada healnya dari BT ya kan. Jadi dia fokusnya ke damage, jadi harus punya edge of neck guys. Soalnya dia pengen banget untuk tidak dipukulin ya kan. Meskipun dia badannya keker kayak gini tuh, dia tuh pengen nggak dipukulin guys. Dia pengennya tuh mukulin. Oke, lanjut ke Corki.
Build your IE, Last Whisper, Giant Slayer, Corki. He's going to be shooting out these missiles that do a bunch of damage. Your typical 4-cost backline ADC. He's not a Ginsu's user by any means. So just does some big damage with that spell. Stacks really well with artillerists. So yeah.
Nah,
Echo kind
kalau Corki itu yang paling mirip itu kayak set ini guys, set 10 Caitlyn kalau kalian tahu. Kalau set ini itu siapa di?
Set ini siapa ya?
Carry-nya
Oh,
siapa
nggak
sih
tahu.
set ini? Kalista, satunya siapa? Varus, ini kayak Varus guys. Kayak si Jomo ya kan. Itemnya
Tapi-
jadi full damage, yang diandelin itu spellnya. Jadi dia carry AD yang ngandelin spell kayak gitu.
Tapi Corki ini unik ini.
Kenapa?
Dia tiap nge-spellnya itu sambil jalan dia. Jadi kayak Smolder.
Oh
Jadi
ya
dia
ya.
bisa antara nge-grief, dia bisa antara nge-feed orang, bisa antara nge-troll kayak gimana.
Oke.
Jadi tergantung ininya.
Oke. Bagus.
Jalannya tuh cuman satu tile doang sih, nggak kayak Smolder jalan-jalan.
Oh, berarti kayak Kalista, sekali
Nah,
ngekill dia pindah. Oh ya.
Nah, bisa
Tapi AI-nya gimana? Dia ngejauhin orang apa dia jalan-jalan
Iya.
random?
ngejauhan orang. Kalau Kalista kan loncat kalau misalkan didapetin doang tuh.
Iya.
Kalista kalau Corki nggak. Tiap nge-skill dia pasti jalan. Entah
Oh.
jalannya pasti ngejauhin.
Oh, tapi dia itu nggak pas jalan, dia itu pindah target nggak skillnya?
Enggak.
Oh
Enggak.
ya.
Makanya gini nih, kalau misalkan Corki ditaruh di pojok nih, di pojok kanan misalkan ya. Nah, di sebelah kiri Corki itu ada temennya. Si Corki pasti majunya ke depan. Dia nggak bakal nge-kill.
Oh ya. Itu guys tipsnya dari Ardian guys. Kalau kalian main Corki itu kalian isolasi, jangan kasih temen. Dia butuh ini space. Dia orangnya introvert. Gitu, guys. Gitu, guys.
Social distancing.
Oke, lanjut ke Eko guys.
Kind of like Ambessa really likes Edge of Night. You can go like Edge of Night, but he's AP. So it's like Edge of Night, Hodge, and then you've already got Ambusher. But his spell is basically he's going to send out these after images that are going to hit targets for big damage. His big weakness is if he gets targeted down, he's going to die. But that's why if you have like
Kayak
Edge of Night
ya,
plus Firelight
KDA,
to
benar.
heal him back up, he can stay alive. That's why I like the double Hodge here. But yeah, Echo's cool.
Oh ini guys, sorry salah. Yang ngasih buff critical itu Ambusher bukan Quick Striker.
Quick Striker nambah attack speed doang.
Ya nambah attack speed. Yang ngasih kayak Fang Wizard itu Ambusher. Jadi dia kayak ngasih pasif IE, tapi tanpa AD atau AP. Dan modelannya Iko ini kayak ini cuy, kayak Gwen kalau set ini. Soalnya dia model melee carry tapi pakai AP. Dan dia suka banget critical. Suka banget AP. Soalnya dia kan udah punya critical sendiri. Gitu.
Heimer is your backline blue buff user that he shoots 5 missiles, and then the next time he casts, he shoots 6 missiles, and then the next time he casts, he shoots 7 missiles and 8 missiles. So you want him casting a lot. He is a ramping damage champion. Those missiles are pretty cool. So yeah, definitely play him if you got Academy or Visionary or just looking for lots of damage here. Silco is 90 mana.
Heimerdinger ini berarti megang blue buff sama skillnya ramping up. Berarti dia pakai Archangel bagus sama blue buff bagus guys. Kayak
Nasor bisnya.
Nasor. Bisnya Nasor.
Iya.
Ya itu
Blue buff
berarti blue buff Nasor sama item AP 1. Berarti kayak ini ya, kayak siapa tuh, kayak Karma. Syndra set 11 ya benar, Syndra set 11. Oh ya benar, ini Syndra set 11 benar Sani. Soalnya dia skillnya kan ramping up kan. Syndra set 11 kan juga ramping up. Jadi setiap sekali Syndra nge-cash kan dia dapat kupu-kupu lagi. Kalau Heimerdinger dia dapat misi lagi kayak gitu.
Silco is going to be He's going to throw a vial that's going to release some monstrosities that are going to do some
Archangel
damage.
bagus.
Pretty high amounts of damage, kind of like Rise in the current set. And again, he's a Dominator, so every time he casts, it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So we've actually found like Shojin Nashers to be really good on him. That being said, if you also have a JG's pretty good too.
Lah ini kayak Rise yang sekarang guys. Ini padahal skill-skillku yang set 95 itu bagus. Kayak ngasih area gitu kan, dikasih Morello bagus. Tapi ini juga tetap bagus kok, kayak skillnya Rise yang sekarang. Jadi targetnya dia nyekill target banyak, pegang Morello bagus nih skillku. Kayak gitu. Sama Dominator ini efeknya kalau nggak salah ramping up ya dia.
Nanti juga dibahas.
Oh ya, nanti aja guys.
Twitch
Kalian.
is our backline sniper. He does like Ginsus. He's someone who can use Ginsu, so if you want to move the Ginsus from like Zeri to Twitch. He also just likes Deathblade. But basically his spell is he's going to be, doing that spray and pray, shooting those ults all over the place, and they pass through targets. So you want him attacking as much as you can. Twitch does big damage here. Twitch is also pretty easy to play. Vi is going to be your Titan Sterix BT
Twitch ini
user.
kayak Kalista,
Vi
butuh
doesn't necessarily do as
Ginsu
much
doang.
damage as like Ambessa, but the big thing is Vi has a shield every time she casts, and her mana cost is pretty low. She's going to hit her current target really hard and slam them down, which does a big line shockwave that also can do some small AoE damage. But she can do a lot of damage, but she's more like a mix like tank and damage, which is pretty cool for Pit Fighter. They kind of need that. But yeah, I like Vi.
Ini kayaknya Vi item beast-nya guys ya. Itu BT Titan ya kan.
Briar lah.
Apa?
Item Briar.
Ya, itemnya Briar. Ini kalau nggak salah ini penggantinya Fiora. Ini si Ambessa ini penggantinya Olaf, ya kan.
Soalnya si Vi ini kayaknya shieldnya scalingnya dari AP, makanya dikasih Titan bagus.
Dan nggak bisa loncat dia dengan nyerang depan
Loncat.
kan.
Kayak Briar gitu.
You know who I
Kalau
don't
misalkan
like?
udah
Zoe gets the award for the most annoying champion in the set.
Form swapper
Zoe
menarik.
is a sorcerer, and her ult is she's going to throw out this bubble that's going to bounce around the map. And what this bounce usually finds its way to doing is hitting the backline. So let's say you've got your 3-cost Scar that's really, really tanky. Well, Zoe's the kind of champion that goes, I don't care, and bounces that bubble to the backline and kills the Zeri anyway. Zoe's the kind of champion that's going to make you want to build some healing on the backline or even an Edge of Night. Zoe pumps out the damage. So if you like not having to worry about a tank, play something like a 7 Rebel Zoe or a 6 Sork Zoe, and Zoe will do pretty well.
Ini kayak siapa, Di? Kalau yang sekarang.
Kalau di set 9, 10, 11 nggak ada, tapi kalau di 8 ada. Dia tuh kayak Yumi.
Aku nggak tahu lagi
Yumi
set 8 guys.
Set 8. Jadi dia tuh targetnya bukan target ke depan, tapi targetnya ke jauh. Tapi kayaknya kalau Zoe ini lebih random. Soalnya kan Murdoch bilangnya skillnya itu ngebounce. Nah ngebounce-nya itu biasanya kena backline, berarti kan
Random.
nggak target backline gitu. Jadi kayak gimana ya? Ultinya tuh kayak dilempar ke samping, kayak pingpong jadinya larinya gitu. Ngerti nggak? Dilempar ke samping terus
Iya.
ngebounce terus.
Kayak Bard kan
Tapi-
harusnya, kayak Bard yang sekarang.
Ya, kayak
Tapi
gitu. Tapi
damage-nya lebih tinggi soalnya dia cost 4. Sama
dilemparnya tuh bukan ke orang, dilemparnya tuh kayak ke map gitu loh. Map. Jadi si mapnya tuh kayak dijadiin pingpong gitu loh sampingnya.
Lilia
Jadi
set 11 dong
Iya,
langsung prio backline. Kayaknya ya. Kalau
Lilia set 11. Iya bisa.
tapi
Lilia
kalau Lilia set ya ngarahin kan. Kalau ini nggak ngarahin.
Kayaknya gitu, kayak Lilia set 11 bolanya, tapi bolanya tuh larinya tuh bukan ke orang, larinya tuh ke temboknya map gitu loh. Jadi
temboknya map,
mantul ke tembok map,
Oh.
mantul ke tembok map kayaknya gitu.
Kayaknya gitu, kamu berarti belum lihat ya?
Ya soalnya kan dia bilang ngebounce.
Oh,
Kalau misalkan ngebounce, kalau misalkan nggak kemana-mana ngebounce kenapa?
ya ke unit lah guys.
Ya kan dia bilang nggak ke unit, anjir. Dia kan ultinya bilang ke
Oh,
bounce.
nembus.
Iya, nggak nembus, jadi kayak apa ya, kayak ngebounce gitu, kayak mantul. Kayaknya sih, lu tau kalau tahu Nunu set 8 kayak gitu. Jadi si Nunu kan gak bisa keluar arena tuh.
Oh ya. Tapi kan
Jadi
dia
kayak
Nunu
gitu.
jalan-jalan anjir.
Ya iya, ibarat Nununya itu bolanya si Jerry,
Oh,
ngerti
oke
nggak?
oke oke.
Kayak
Ya
gitu
ya.
kayaknya.
Now
Kita
you might
lihat
play
aja
like
guys
6
besoknya.
bruiser and you need a carry, or maybe it's in the back. Play a main back
Kita
proxy,
OTW
right?
ke
Caitlyn.
harga 5.
Caitlin's interesting in that her attack speed is only 0.55.
Hah? Sama aku juga
Her
nggak nangkep.
animation is so good though. It's like every
Ntar aja
auto
lihat.
Aku sama kok
snipe,
Jargang.
unload the
Skip
shell.
aja itu
Snipe,
si Zoe itu
unload the shell.
nggak
It
terlalu
feels
penting
so
anjir.
good. Having a 0.55 attack speed though means she's really good with Silvermere Dawn. Plus 120% attack damage on that Caitlyn. Woo! As far as her ult goes, though, she actually summons a battleship that's going to drop bombs, and every bomb that gets dropped, Caitlyn's going to snipe the target that gets hit. So you get a little bit of AoE damage with these big Caitlyn spell snipes that are really powerful. We find that Caitlyn, with these big Caitlyn spell snipes that are really powerful, we find that Caitlyn isn't the best solo carry, but a really good duo carry with like Vi, or you can have it with Maddie in a vertical enforcer comp. But Caitlyn definitely does some good damage, so pretty cool.
Oh, ini Caitlyn unik guys ya. Dia ADC 4 hack belakang, tapi dia attack speednya itu stuck. Atau enggak, bukan stuck. Dia attack speednya itu 0,55. 0,55 itu lambat banget guys. Kayaknya lebih lambat dari Mordekai berapa itu kemarin tuh?
Kalau tahu artefak yang
Ya,
apa sih namanya?
Dawn.
Ya, Silvermere Dawn kayak gitu.
Terus
Makanya,
ya kayak Jin. Jin itu kan hitnya lama ya kan, hit Jin set 10. Nah, ini tapi hitnya kalau biasanya kalau hitnya lama itu AD-nya dia bagus. Terus
bagus.
spellnya bagus. Kayak biasanya gitu.
Makanya itemnya Caitlyn tuh bukan Guinsoo tapi dikasih ini, Hojin.
Sama full AD.
Full damage.
Kayak gitu guys. Tapi kayaknya juga bukan Sojin juga sih guys.
Sojin, soalnya mana gede.
Gak cocok ini sumpah Sojin ini. Ini kayaknya Deadblade IE. Kalau enggak IE Deadblade. Soalnya yang lebih dikatain yang dikatakan Mordok ya, dia itu bagus secondary carry. Biasanya kalau secondary carry itu gitu. Dia itu tinggal yang bersih-bersih.
Dikasih item mana gimana, Bang?
Dia pasti itu kok nge-cash sekali harusnya. Kalau dia pakai Sojin sama enggak ya, itu pastinya bedanya enggak jauh. Soalnya modelan kayak yang Caitlyn ini dia cukup nge-cash sekali doang, guys. Cukup nge-cash sekali doang, yang dimana bukan cukup nge-cash sekali doang. Selama 30 detik dia pakai Sojin sama enggak, itu loh. Palingan dia cuma nge-cashnya sekali. Jadi sama Sojin sama enggak itu dia pasti nge-cashnya cuman sekali. Kayak gitu. Jadi mending dia sekali terus damage-nya full daripada dia itu. Soalnya kan setiap dia ngasih kayak bom dari atas itu kan dia juga ngasih tambahan spell dari spellnya sendiri gitu.
Jace, our last form swapper, frontline and backline, he's damage. Frontline, again, something like a Titan's BT. Backline, you're going to get something like an IE red buff. But either way, he's going to provide some extra utility. Backline, he also comes with this, like, I forget what it's called, but it kind of looks like a big, like, hexstone thing. But basically, if you put that in the front line, it's going to enable him to, like, CC tanks and knock them around. And if you put him in the back line, that's going to give attack speed to everybody else in the back line. So definitely some options there, as well as he pumps out some damage by himself. Okay, Jinx.
Kayaknya gini guys, ada yang build menarik guys. Ini Caitlyn ini bisa bikin itemnya Israel Kamikaze sekarang kayaknya. Dia taruh di tengah, ya kan, kasih full critical, HOTS, IE sama Silvermere Dawn. Wah, mantep itu kayaknya guys.
Mati kayak. Soalnya skill Caitlyn tuh apa namanya, cast time-nya kayak lumayan lama.
Ya,
dia nunggu meteor dulu.
Oh iya, tapi nggak bisa ini ya, nggak bisa repositioning ya.
Ya walaupun nggak bisa repositioning, cast time-nya lama. meteor
Kalau
turun terus
Israel kan
ngeket dulu.
kalau Israel kan bisa repositioning. Sesat. Enggak. Iya, ada aja, nanti lihat aja kalau nggak percaya. Ada kok. Ada.
Buang di World kemarin aja Cina aneh kok.
Ada, bilangin ada. Aceh dia itu selalu cooking ya kan, antai. Ini kita ngomongin Jazz guys. Jazz ini kayak dia form swipernya unik. Selain dia form swipernya dari skillnya sendiri, tapi dia punya kayak batu ya kan, yang itu bisa di form swiper. Kalau ditaruh di depan, dia bakalan nyetun, skillnya Jazz itu jadi nyetun. Dan kalau di belakang, si si Jazz dan teman-temannya yang satu itu satu satu apa itu satu saf itu bahasa Indonesianya apa anjing?
Ya, tiga yang terdekat dari batu baru yang ini yang di
Oh,
bawah.
3 terdekat, oke ya. 3 terdekat dari batu itu bakalan dapat attack speed kayak gitu. Dan Jazz ini yang megang ini ya, yang megang BT sama Blood Rister kalau dia taruh depan, kalau belakang dia apa ya dia? Apa AD?
Adik tetap adik
AD, megang AD.
tetap adik. Kalau di belakang ya
Baris ya,
dibikin
baris.
di
Sorry
AI
guys,
gitu.
aku terlalu agamis guys, jadi bilangnya saf. AI.
AI
Hmm,
kalau di belakang. Kayak sniper kalau di belakang. Jadi kayak siapa ya? 12.
banyak C12. C12 siapa ya?
Kayak Varus kalau di belakang. Guys.
Kayak Smolder.
Smolder
Jalan-jalan.
attack speed bang.
Jinx
Enggak,
is
Bang.
absolutely
Yang terakhir,
the
Bang.
greatest spell our artists have ever created. I absolutely love the spell. They cooked so much.
Jinx
I'm
ini
not
belum
gonna spoil
di-leak
it
sama
for
si
you.
Mortis di sini.
But
Nanti
Jinx
Enggak,
is
Jinx
so good.
enggak
They're
di itu, Cok. Tapi
What's
dari
interesting about her spell is that she throws
threadnya
out
bagus
these
sih.
chains
Rebel
and
ini
it hits
carry,
4
full
targets.
carry. Ambusher
Those
ini full
chains
carry.
stay on the
Jadi
they do
dia
some
bagus.
damage. And then those chains stay
Ini
on the target
bener-bener
for a few
carry.
seconds. During which time
Kalau di set 11 ini kayak Irelia guys. Jadi dia bisa solo carry satu timnya. Kalau set 10 dia kayak
Set 10 Ahri Sentinel.
enggak yang 5 kos dah bang. Kayak Ziggs.
5 Jin.
Ya kayak Jin. Dia bisa solo carry timnya. Soalnya threadnya bagus, kitnya full damage. Beda kayak Caitlyn kan ya. Caitlyn ini secondary carry bagus, Jazz ini secondary carry bagus, Jinx ini full damage. Bener-bener full damage lahir dan batin.
it's like the chains kind of she gets carry but also a very good support champion. Even if you just want to throw in like
Nah, Jinx
2
ini
sorcerer for the AP bonus and then get those chains.
apa namanya?
Pretty good.
Skillnya itu 3.
It's chained 4 targets that takes seconds. During which time LeBlanc is a Black Rose sorcerer. What's interesting about her spell is that she throws out these chains and it hits 4 targets. Those chains stay on the they do some damage, and then those chains stay on the target for a few seconds. During which time, any target hit that's got a chain on them that takes damage will also send an additional amount of damage to the other targets as true damage. Basically, it's like a secret damage amp on all 4. And you can get some really
Ini
nutty
skillnya
things
kayak
going
ada
on
yang
where
sama
like
tuh. Kapan ya?
LeBlanc has changed 4 targets, Zoe's bubble is bouncing through them, each bubble triggering the
Ada yang
chains
ingat gak
on the
guys
other
skillnya
one,
LeBlanc yang kayak
and it
ngasih
does a lot
ikatan,
of big AoE damage. So
terus
LeBlanc's
ikatannya itu
kind of a support
nge-transfer
mage in that
damage.
regard, but also if you throw items on her and then those chains
Lupa
kill,
aku.
she gets 3 bonus
ada
auto
perasaan.
attacks that are going
Ada
to
kok, ada
hit
kok.
really hard. So she can carry, but also a very good support champion. Even if you just want to throw in like 2 sorcerer for the AP bonus and then get those chains, pretty good.
Jadi skillnya LeBlanc ini ya singkatnya dia ngikat 4 orang. Yang diikat 4 orang itu nggak kestun, nggak ngapain-ngapain, tapi dia bakalan yang
Share damage.
ya damage-nya itu disalurkan. Jadi kalau yang depannya itu ada Mordekaiser ya kan katakan, terus belakangnya ada Caitlyn sama Jinx sama si Malzahar. Mordekaisernya kena ikatan, si Malzahar sama Caitlyn sama Jinx-nya ini juga bakalan kena ikatan. Kalau Mordekaisernya kenuk, di belakangnya juga bakalan kenuk kayak gitu. Kenuk itu ke burst gitu. Dan ketika Mordekaisernya mati, dia bakalan ngasih damage sakit banget ke 3 unit yang belum mati di belakang ini. Kayak gitu.
All right. This is where I should be doing my victory dance because, yes, we finally did it. Malzahar is a 5 cost.
Dari set 1 sampai 13.
That's right. Malzahar is a 5 cost. I'm so happy. So, what does Malzahar do? He's going to basically do his Q, and every one hit is going to get a dot up to 5 dots. It's always 5 dots. So, if you hit one person, that one person has 5 dots. If you hit 5 people, they each have 1 dot. Okay, sounds pretty basic. What's special? Well, the dots stack, as we said. If the target dies, the dots jump to the next target. Oh, and the dots never expire. Ever. So, you get him going with like 8 visionary, and he's going auto, auto, auto. They're bleeding them dry. So, he gets pretty nutty and can poison targets really well. Really good with Zhonya's, by the way, because what'll happen is he'll be Zhonya's all the while all his dots are ticking like crazy. Not to mention the way Automata works, which we'll talk about later. It procs based on instances of damage, so if you get a lot of that going, Automata's proccing a bunch. Pretty cool.
Oke, berarti ini skillnya guys, kalau kalian tahu Naruto guys ya, ini skillnya kayak api hitamnya yang ada di Naruto itu guys. Ya kan?
Enggak, kayak karma aja. Simpelnya kayak karma.
Enggak, karma kan itu selesai cuk debuffnya. Ini debuffnya nggak selesai Malzahar ini.
Iya kayak karma, cuman nggak selesai, dan kalau misalkan targetnya mati,
pindah.
ultnya itu pindah ke yang lain.
Nah iya, ini kayak apa tuh? Apa tuh namanya Naruto itu guys? Api hitamnya itu loh cuk, lupa aku.
Apa nggak tahu, aku bukan wibu bang.
Ya pokoknya itu guys. Dan ini kayaknya ya, ini threadnya ini yang seperti diomongin Mordok, ini ya Taylor, maksudnya threadnya ini bagus buat carry. Jadi Malzahar ini single carry, bagus nih.
Alright, Mordekaiser.
True carry.
Mordekaiser's pretty basic in the sense that he's got kind of a slow attack speed. I believe it's 0.55. He's going to gain 100 mana. He's going to transform, grow big. And now every auto is going to be this giant slam. This just like really impactful slam that even to tanks will chunk like a third of their health and do an AoE shockwave. He also gains Omnivamp during this. So he can do a lot of damage. Kind of tanky, kind of bruisery. Like, this is probably the most powerful champ fantasy Mordekaiser we've ever printed, which is neat. Rumble is a Junker King.
Oke, berarti cara ini guys, cara mainin Mordekaiser tuh gampang. Intinya Mordekaiser tuh harus nyekill. Habis itu dia harus punya lifesteal. Habis itu dia harus punya damage item. Jadi biasanya kalau itemnya kayak gitu dia pakai Protector Foe, Blood Trister plus JG. Kalau enggak, kalau damage-nya AP ya JG, kalau damage-nya AD dia pakai IE gitu.
Apa ya dia?
AP berarti pakai JG atau enggak pakai decap, itu doang. Simple ini Mordekaiser nih, enggak sulit makanya. Ini Rumble sama Sevika ini agak sulit nih.
His ult is pretty basic. He's going to do his ult, to shoot the wave of fire. If it hits up to 5 targets, great. If it hits less than 5, for every target less, you're going to get a mana refund. So what's interesting is actually against a solo tank, what'll happen is he'll ult, get a big refund, ult quickly again, get a big refund, and like, he can actually melt things down pretty quick. Where the twist here is Junker King. Junker King says every 3 turns you play Rumble, you're going to get offered a shop where you can buy an upgrade for him. It'll show you 2 upgrades,
Diana
or
sekarang
you
ya,
can pass
yoi.
and take spare parts, which will give you like a little gold.
Amaterasu, oh ya,
But
tadi
if you take
nggak
an upgrade,
kebaca
he'll gain
anjingnya
an extra part of his spell that's happening in addition, and you can get up to 5 of these. So if you get like a 3-2 Rumble and keep upgrading him, by the end he kind of has like 4 or 5 different parts of his spell. He's got this really powerful mech that's doing a bunch of things, and in addition he's a Sentinel, so I feel like you're going to see Rumble in a lot of comps just because he's a Sentinel. But also you can get things where it's like he self-destructs when he dies, or he's doing extra damage to tanks. So definitely be on the lookout for Rumble. If you like that sort of upgrade fantasy, try to get all 5 upgrades with Rumble. There you go.
Nah ini guys, Rumble ini kalau dilihat dari trade-nya ya, soalnya dia trade-nya Sentinel tuh trade support. Scrap itu juga trade support kan, ngasih item kan deh ini deh.
Hmm.
Nah,
Enggak, bukan ngasih itu.
apa?
Kayak set 10 tuh apa ya, yang misalkan satu item jadi full item.
Oh ya ya,
Satu komponen jadi full item.
Scrappy Inventor apa tuh?
Scrap
Ada
inventor
upgrade-nya.
kayak gitu.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Nah, ini Rumble ini modelannya dia kayaknya ya kalau kamu punya Rumble dan guys ya, terus kalian sampingnya itu kamu punya Ilawi, Ilawi kan Sentinel juga. Itemnya tank itu kayaknya tetap di Ilawi. Sampai si Rumble ini dapat upgrade-annya. Nah, upgrade-annya Rumble ini tergantung guys. Tergantung kan bisa bikin dia tambah tank, bisa bikin dia tambah damage, bisa bikin dia self destruct kayak camnya yang set ini. Camnya set ini ya bener. Nah, tapi syaratnya kalian harus menang di berapa ronde tadi? 3.
Enggak. Tiap 3 ronde.
Oh, tiap
Dapat
3 ronde nggak harus menang. Tiap 3 ronde. Jadi
item.
kalian harus masukin Rumble, nunggu 3 ronde, terus baru dapat itu upgrade-annya.
Dan bisa
Ya.
di skip, bisa nggak dipilih. Soalnya tiap upgrade itu bayar 6 gold.
Ya benar. Ini yang jelas ini trade-nya support sama Jungler King ini nggak tahu ya. Jungler King kayaknya itu tadi yang ada upgrade-nya. Sama skillnya lebih ke damage bukan ke tank. Jadi main tanknya di set ini tuh bakalan diilawi sama di Mundo kayak gitu.
Iya. Transportnya nggak ada tank soalnya.
Hmm,
Mordekaiser browser AP.
hmm.
Rumble juga sama. Sevika juga
Jazz ya melee,
Jazz ya. Iya, Jazz
melee
bukan.
carry.
Hmm.
Sevika juga melee carry nggak ada. Dan Rumble ini satu-satunya tank tapi empuk kalau di awal kayaknya.
And then finally, Savika. If you've watched the show, Savika has this cool slot machine arm that the second we saw it, we were like, we got to get that in there. We got to. It's too TFT. So Saviko has this trait called High Roller, which basically every time she casts her spell, the slot machine spins. Based on what it hits, you get different versions of her spell. She has like 3 or 4 different outputs, but then there's also like the jackpot version of the output. She's definitely the most high variance 5 cost we've ever made. But generally, the thing to remember about her is her job is to kill tanks. So, like, let's say somebody has a Blitz 3 with 3 items. Savika is going to be really good at taking that down, whether it be with her true damage flamethrower or her ability to knock them and possibly knock them out of the arena. So, Savika is definitely going to be that pit fighter melee champion that you're going to be afraid of.
Iki
And
lho
you're going
cok,
to curse
skillnya
when
unik
that slot
banget
machine does
RNG
not go
wes
in
bang.
your
Aku
favor.
kok kan RNG uripku wes to iso aja RNG nah. Jadi gini guys, Sevika ini kalau jobnya yang sekarang itu mirip ke Camille. Jadi yang di Camille itu dikasih ke depannya tank itu tak. Sama skillnya RNG nggak terlalu ini ya. Apa
Pokoknya
ya?
gacha di dalam.
Kayaknya aku nggak bakal main Sevika guys. Soalnya Sevika ini terlalu RNG ya kan. Dan aku nggak suka
Iya, gacha di
RNG.
dalam gacha.
Dan AC dia tuh punya luck issue cok. Anjing cok. Nggak pernah hoki main itu. Main hoki sekali tuh main golden spatula ya kan. Berkali-kali.